Hello, and welcome to the Authentically Elisa podcast, Unmasking Your True Self. I'm Elisa Boogaerts, your guide on this journey to discovering the most genuine version of yourself. Each episode is a step towards unveiling the incredible power that lies within you as we strip away all the shoulds and shine a light on the coulds. Together, we'll explore the path of self-empowerment, self-confidence, and the courage to be unapologetically you. Thank you for being here. Well, here we are. To be honest, I can't believe I'm actually doing this. It feels kind of funny talking to myself into this microphone. But firstly, I want to thank you for being here and for listening. It truly means so much to me, so thank you. And to make sure that you follow this podcast, and I'd love to know what you think, so please leave me a review and a rating. Authenticity. What does it look like for you to show up authentically, like every day with everyone in every way? This is something that we're going to explore here in this podcast. And can I be authentic here? Using my voice has been a hurdle for me. Most times I've used it has been in situations where, I can't stand something anymore, or I need to call out the elephant in the room, to be that brave one and ask the question that everybody wants to ask, but no one does. But to be here, just kind of chatting to myself in hopes of chatting to you, well, that's like a whole different ballgame. And I've been quite nervous to do this. It's interesting because I've been encouraged for quite some time to start this podcast and to use my voice. Even in my human design chart, my throat chakra is defined, meaning that I'm meant to express my own truth and let the world know about it. And my ajna is also defined. So I'm here to sort of formulate my own point of view and then to express it. So I've been learning how to learn to trust myself in certain moments and then voice it, and to trust that this is what I am here to say. I've had to explore how I can have the confidence in my own voice, how I can trust my voice and be bold and authentic enough to voice it and not care what people think, and to maybe help people with their voice along the way. And when I have held back, didn't trust myself, I didn't believe in my own voice. And then I thought, well, what if I just spoke from my heart, which is what I will do here in this space. It's been a journey. And then I was given this amazing gift. I won a course on podcasting with Jennifer Grace, my coach, mentor, and friend. And it was like, well, there it is. This opportunity is like literally falling on your lap. So let's do this. And I had to think of what I wanted this podcast to be about. What is something that is meaningful to me that I've struggled with and can use this platform as a way to help others. My coaching company is called Inspiration by Elisa. Some friends of mine, we came up with this name back in, I think, 2013 when I was living in London, England. And I wanted to inspire people in my coaching to be their true selves, right? And to live life the way that they wanted to live their life, to really make it fulfilling and to be happy. So it seemed perfectly aligned that this podcast be about authenticity. So Inspiration by Elisa, Authentically Elisa. The definition of authenticity is the quality of being real or true. True to one's own personality, spirit, or character, of being genuine. And knowing who you are involves really accepting the whole package. The good, the bad, the light and the dark. When you shine, and also the shadow that shine can leave behind you. I think that being yourself, being authentic is an incredibly important thing for all of us to embody. Because when we're truly being ourselves, and you're really just yourself, It's quite peaceful and it's kind. Of course, it can be easier said than done, especially around certain people in your life or in certain situations. One of our greatest challenges is succeeding in being who we are, not who we think we're supposed to be or who anyone else thinks that we're supposed to be. And being authentic can be scary. I have this huge fear around being criticized. So this is definitely getting my alarm bells going, trying my best to not go into flight or flight, but I'm doing it anyway, as I've done with most things in my life, to sort of just walk through that fear and getting to the other side of it. Authenticity, being authentically you. What does that even mean? Being in the coaching world, I hear this all the time. And I've even said it myself. You want to be your true, authentic self, because when you are, you can relax. You can stop trying to be whatever everyone else thinks you should be. And that can be just so stressful. You think like, am I doing it right? Am I being right? Based on your perspectives or your standards or your judgments. And it can just be so exhausting checking yourself like that all the time. And one of the regrets of my life is that I didn't express nor be fully authentic, I don't think, when I was with my father. He was so open and supportive, but I was so fearful of being made fun of or judged or teased and criticized that I held my emotions deep down. And at the time, I didn't think I could be myself, so I wasn't. But I know I could have been myself with him. And I really wish that I was. It's taken me a long time. It's taken me so long to feel comfortable with my authentic self. It's been this journey. And even now, I still see myself playing a role or acting a certain way sometimes, and then afterwards I beat myself up for it. I think like, who the heck was that? I don't know why I just said heck. You know what? Being authentic, there might be some cursing in this podcast. I'm just going to tell you right now. I curse, bit of a cusser. Another thing about this podcast is that I'm not sure how much I'm going to edit it. I say I say I there are going to be pauses, and that's just the way we speak. We're actually being authentic. That's how we do it. So it's not going to be perfect and polished. So I'm going to rephrase that and say, when I beat myself up, I think, who the hell was that? Why were you acting like that? Right? Like, how fake? These are the things that I say to myself when I'm beating myself up. And I'm like, always trying to live in authenticity and trying so hard to be myself in those moments where I'm just playing this role or being this thing. I just like, ugh. But then, of course, remember that I need to be kind to myself. And so I changed my tune. But I think it's still really good to show yourself that mirror, to be very aware of who you're being all the time. Because when you're actually aware of it and you can see yourself, you don't want to necessarily judge yourself or beat yourself up. But it's really good to just be like, that's interesting. I wasn't living in alignment then. I wasn't being authentic then. I was playing this role, and then you can kind of look at that and start thinking about it and questioning it. Be like, well, what about that situation made me think I couldn't be me? What role was I playing, or what story did I believe that I had to play that role or be that way? Yeah, to really just sort of recognize when you're playing a role or a persona or wearing a mask or a hat or whatever it is. And don't, beat yourself up for it. But recognize it and really try to do better next time. That's all we can do, really, right? Continual self-improvement, the unconditioning of all the conditioning that we've had our lives. So this is what we're going to explore in this podcast. There are going to be some episodes of just me like this one, sharing my stories, giving you tips and guidance and support on your authentic journey. And I also have some expert panels, which is going to be really cool. I was just in this event called Potapalooza, where I got to record a whole bunch of episodes. And so, because I was doing so many on the same day, I'm going to do sort of this expert panels over a few episodes where you get to hear the same people answering the same question and giving their sort of perspective on it, which would be super cool. And I'm going to have guest speakers, with so many amazing people that I've met over the last 3 years since becoming a coach. And they all have their unique and authentic message to share with you. And they all coach on different things, different aspects of life. So it's going to be awesome. So we're going to be covering all different aspects of life, like being authentic at work, being authentic in your relationships, even with your finances. We're going to talk about what's your money story. And you're going to learn about different modalities too. I have some people who are like experts in somatic healing and tapping and stuff like that. So there's going to be some things where these like lessons, you're going to get nuggets of wisdom. You're going to hear some stories and yeah. And I hope that it inspires you to be authentically you. And this is going to be so awesome. So that is it for episode 1. Just wanted to do a bit of an introduction and welcome you to this podcast. So thank you so much for listening, and I'll talk to you next time. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. I hope it inspired you to live a more authentic life. I'd love your help in inspiring more people to live authentically. So please follow, rate, and leave a review so we can create a ripple effect of authenticity. Until next time, stay true to you, be bold, and thrive on your own terms. This is Elisa, signing off authentically.